What is up, YouTube? This is Dana from HD.Adventuring, and as you may very well know, Heather and I are building an expedition truck out of this old fire truck. And we've spent a lot of time talking about the exterior of the vehicle, but today I'm going to talk about the interior of the vehicle. So take a ride with me, and I'll show you what we've done so far. So over the past few months, we've essentially gutted and rebuilt the cab of this beast to make it more pleasant to drive in many ways. Inside of this truck has come a long way. Heather and I bought this 2007 Mitsubishi Fuso fire truck a while back, and we are in the process of converting it into an overland truck. Adding a lift, big tires, lights, and a winch. If you're interested in that stuff, you can watch that video right up here. But today we are inside the cab to see how we've made it more comfortable to spend many hours at a time driving. I'm going to cover how we cleaned the cab and the headliner, installed sound insulation and new seats, and finally added some electronics for easier driving and communication. We'll likely create more videos detailing certain elements of the interior at a later date, so please comment if there's something that you're interested in hearing more about. So this video was a long time in the making. It's taken us a long time to get this beast where we want it to be. So you'll notice my hair maybe has changed in some of the videos. The mullet is gone, and now we've got short hair. So let me tell you how this whole project went down and how it became a lot bigger project than I thought. So originally I thought I was just going to install the seats. I knew that down the road I wanted to do some sound insulation and clean the headliner out, but I thought each of these projects was going to be independent. So I opened the truck up and realized that if I'm taking the seats out, I might as well do the sound insulation, because to do the sound insulation you have to take the floor out, and to take the floor out you have to take the seats out. So I do that, and then I realize, well, if I'm doing the sound insulation on the floor, I should also do it on the headliner, under the headliner, and then I realize if I'm doing that, I should also clean the headliner while I have it up. So suddenly this one little project to install new seats actually became 3 medium-sized projects all grouped into one. The stock seats in this Fuso were nasty. They smelled like cigarette smoke, they have some sort of adhesive spread all around the seats, and they had lots of holes in them. Oh yeah, they weren't super comfy either. The bolts that hold the seats in are actually underneath the cab, so I have to open my bumper, lift the cab up, and I can access those bolts. I undo the bolts, and then I push the seat belts through the seats so that they don't hold the seat in while I pull it out. So it was 4 bolts, and now, hopefully, I can get this sucker out. Ta-da! After removing the seats, I was amazed at the filth left behind. There are all sorts of nasty surprises left over by the previous owner, but there was one beneficial surprise. I found a little bit of cash in here, which I'll put toward diesel on our first trip. I peel back the vinyl flooring and spend a few hours vacuuming this thing and scrubbing it out to get as clean as possible before I install the sound deadening. Now we need to create some brackets to go from the floor of the truck to the bottom of the seats. These are going to have to be custom. To create these brackets, we're going to need to weld some of this 3/16 inch thickness steel bar. I haven't welded since I was about 13 years old and a freshman in high school. I did a week-long course in welding. I am well past freshman year of high school now, so we'll see how it goes. I cut the steel to size and then get to welding it. Even though I have a tiny bit of training on welding, it's always been one of those activities that has kind of scared me, which is the reason why I haven't touched a welder in so many years. But after watching a few YouTube videos, doing some test welds to get my settings correct, a lot of the information came back to me. I don't think my high school welding teacher would be overly proud, but after 15 years of not doing it, I think it's pretty good. I think it's going to hold us. And now I need to make sure that I get these nice and clean, hit them with a coat or two of paint so that they don't rust, and then we'll work on installing them into the truck. So as much as I want to go install these brackets and the seats into the truck right now, we are under a blizzard warning. And that pretty much looks like a blizzard. The Fuso is about maybe 40 or 50 feet away, and you can hardly see it. The street is right behind that and you can't see that, so not the time to install the seats, unfortunately. So unfortunately, I didn't video very much when we installed the kill mat inside the truck. I had about 6 hours worth of sunlight, and I needed every single minute of that on a warm day. You have to install it on a warm day. So I really didn't take any video of that, unfortunately, but let me tell you, it's a little bit of a pain to install, but it's also kind of fun. You get to basically cut all the pieces to the right size, push it down, and use this cool roller tool to push it down and get it installed. But you got to do it on a warm day so that it adheres properly to the metal. My next step was cleaning the headliner. This thing was filthy. First, I sprayed the headliner with some diluted carpet cleaning solution. Then I used this sweet Hoover carpet cleaner to suck out the soiled mixture. I repeated my actions on the other side of the headliner and sucked more of this nasty water out. It may just be me, but watching this system at work is super satisfying. I was pretty thrilled at how well this inexpensive carpet cleaner did at getting all the nastiness out of our headliner. If you want to buy the same carpet cleaner, I'll leave a link in the description. With the headliner cleaned, sound insulation installed, and our seat brackets finished, I quickly installed the new seats and snapped the headliner back in. So let me take you through the electronics that we've built here. First up is our backup camera. This thing is essential for such a large vehicle. Being able to see what's behind us is critical. This one's also nice because I can leave it on 24/7 and see who's behind me. Coming up to here, we have our tire pressure meter. And tire pressure is super important. The bigger the tires, the more important it is. These things are huge, they're heavy, they're very expensive, so you want to make sure you're running proper tire pressure when you're both on road and off. If you were to get a flat or a puncture, it's important to stop quickly and know, because these have so much volume in them that if you were to go flat with a lot of load while riding on the highway, you could have a blowout, which is super, super dangerous with such a big vehicle. Moving right along, we have our center console here, so GoPro for filming, this will hold a phone, and this is our aux beam light controller. Right now we only have it set up for the front ARB lights. This is actually to control the ARB lights, the intensity of them. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, but that controls the intensity, and this controls the on-off of them. That is the aux beam control box. That right now only serves that one switch, but once we have more things to control, like onboard air, some side lights, who knows what else, we'll use that. We'll have more things to show on that. Next up is our CarPlay enabled head unit. You probably know what this does. It's awesome. So the next thing you might notice is this radio. So this is a GMRS radio. I had to get a license to use it. It was actually very easy. You just sign up and pay $30 or something online. That is my radio handle. I wish I could have chose something cool, but I got a string of numbers and letters. This thing is cool. It is mounted in here. Right now it's sort of temporarily mounted right there. Once we have a center console in here, we will put the radio box in the middle of it, but everything is done right from here. So the speakers in here, you control the volume and the channel in here. And so really it's okay if the box is hidden away. So that's why it's just soft mounted right there. All right, so I'm driving about, let's say 30 miles an hour right now. And it's a little loud in here still, but like I can whisper and I can hear what I'm saying. So like I go like this, I can still hear that. And that is such a big difference from how it was before. So I think a little bit of that has to do with the bigger tires that we added. The engine's spinning a little bit slower per each speed, but it's really amazing what the sound deadening has done for the ease of talking and communicating while we're in this truck. So overall, I am thrilled with how that's gone. I have yet to install sound deadening on to the sides of the doors. So there's actually still even a little bit, yet to be done around that. So if you found this video interesting or informative, I ask that you consider smashing that subscribe button. It really helps us out. We've got a lot more content to come, so maybe even hit that notifications button so you get notified about all the new stuff that we put out. While we're still a ways away from installing the box on this Fuso, we have a lot more upgrades that we're going to share, and we're also planning to take it on some adventures even while it's not fully built out yet. Yeah, so follow along. From HD Adventuring, thank you, and we'll see you out on the trails.